Incredible, guys. Incredible. I appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in tonight. As of right now, as we're on the entire call, we have about 2,000 people tuning in from legitimately all over the entire world. Okay, so if you were invited on this call, you know, somebody that either you love, trust, or respected you enough to invite you and give you some information that we're going to be going over this entire week. So I'm going to help kick off this entire DCX free trial. My name is John Guaman. I'm a 25-year-old entrepreneur out in Miami, Florida. And I got involved in the cryptocurrency space about 5 to 6 years ago and have learned so much from the gentleman that we're going to be bringing up these next up and coming days. So real quick, before we bring up these gentlemen and go in depth, okay, what this entire week holds for every single person on the call. Okay, my biggest tip and advice for you, starting off in this entire, call is to make sure you take notes. Have a notebook out because there's going to be a lot of life-changing information that's going to be broken down in this entire call. And I guarantee you're not going to remember any bit of it. So my biggest tip and advice to get the best bang for your buck and to get these thousands of dollars worth of information is to make sure you have notes taken out, right? Note takers, I always say, are money makers, but more importantly, you can go back into your notes and go back on the information that you're going to get today that is going to help you guys make a ton of money in the long term if you use it correctly. Okay, so day one of this DCX free trial, we have Ivan Paychecks and Crypto Picasso, the founders, okay, and some of the top DCX educators on the entire platform. And as we go in depth, okay, they're going to be talking about the future of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and what it really holds for us as a group. But like I said, as we go in depth, be ready to be committed for these next 6 days, because on day 2, we have Curtis Cobain and Mike Sotero. Day 3, we have, Sean breaking down the DCX scalper and AltFi. Day 4, we have capitalizing on NFTs and the metaverse. Day 5, we're doing a DCX overview. And then day 6, we're having an exclusive orientation for members only. So make sure you're committed for this entire time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Saturday, and we're going to get this whole thing rocking. So the next person I'm going to bring up on the entire call is one of my good friends, somebody that I've connected to over the last couple of years. And I've seen his entire growth, but more importantly than that, I've seen him literally become a legend in the entire crypto space, guys. He was actually featured on Vice for having the first ever cryptocurrency Bitcoin transaction, real estate transaction. He bought his current apartment today, in place today, off of Bitcoin, guys. And he was one that really helped usher in the entire cryptocurrency and DCX, entire platform into the academy. So guys, everybody, I'm going to open up the chat box real quick, just for a second, but drop some 777s for my brother, the legend, Mr. Ivan Paychecks. Ivan, take it away for us, brother. Take it away for us.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. It says unable to start video.
Oh, really? That is weird. Here, let me see.
All right. I love the 7s. Keep the 7s coming in.
There we go, bro.
All right, let's go. What is going on? John, do me a favor though. Leave those comments in there, because I want to participate with these 2.3 thousand individuals that are tuning in. Do me a favor. All right, what time is it? I got about 20 minutes, right, Guaman?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Let's rock and roll. Guys, my name is Ivan Paychecks, co-founder of DCX. Guys, I am 36 years young, but here's the beauty about it, guys. Check this out. I started entrepreneurship at the age of 18 years old. My first hustle was selling mixtapes out of the trunk of my car, guys. Look, from 18 to 30, okay, I was trying to find it. All right. So if you're trying to find it and you've gone through the mud, if you have gone through a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of businesses, a lot of trades, if you finally are searching for the vehicle, that rocket ship that is going to take you to the moon, give me a 333 in the chat. If you are ready, okay, for life-changing results, if you are ready for that vehicle that's going to take you to the moon, if you're ready for that Lamborghini, okay, if you're ready, okay, to go in overdrive, if you're ready to really change your life forever, guys, give me a 3. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look, guys, first of all, before we even get started, I want to know where you guys are tuning in from. All right, I'm originally from New York City, Queens. So I want to know where you guys are tuning in from. Let me know where are you guys tuning in from? Okay. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna put the chat over here because oof. I love it. 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 Man, you guys are tuning in for everywhere. Yo, shout out to Guaman. Shout out to Mike Sotero. Shout out to the whole DCX. Shout out to your chairmans. Okay. Shout out to the P150s for the P2000s, the P5000s, the P1000s, the P600s. Okay. Shout out to all you guys for making this happen. Shout out to the new subscriber. Shout out to the new guest. Shout out to every single one of you guys. Because look, here's the deal. In 2017, I was done with entrepreneurship, guys. I don't know if that's the situation you guys are in. I don't know what your situation is, but I'm letting you know where I was in 2017, where I got introduced to cryptocurrency. I got introduced into cryptocurrency. See, this is beautiful, guys. This is the intro to the DCX week. And I'm going to give you the intro to my life into crypto, into Bitcoin. So this is the beginning, okay, of your intro into this amazing world, okay, that the universe couldn't have picked a better time for you. See, when I got involved, Facebook wasn't named Meta. When I got involved, Jack Dorsey, the owner of Twitter, wasn't so active in the cryptocurrency space. Coinbase wasn't so easy to transact in. Miami wasn't the hub of cryptocurrency. None of these things existed in 2017. Now it does exist. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This is a perfect opportunity for you. So here, check this out, okay? I got involved with cryptocurrency in 2017. And during this time, guys, I did not want to do entrepreneurship anymore. I was going to give up on trading crypto. I was going to give up on trading on Forex. Guys, I lost $15,000 my first 90 days trading Forex in 2015. Okay. From the age of 25 to 30, in those 5 years, I had done about 10 different network marketing companies. And I'm like, I made it, I fell, all this. And I'm like, I'm finally 30. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do network marketing more. You know what? I'm not even going to do business anymore. I had this business, that business. I had all ups and downs. Okay. I went to go live with my mother at 30 years old again. Okay, because all the businesses I had done, all the network marketing companies I'd done, all the trading of stocks and Forex and this and that just didn't work. Let's just be honest. It did work. I'm not saying it just was not for me. It was just not for me. And I was going to go get a job. I was going to get a just over broke because I was about to give up. There's a saying that quitters never win and winners never quit. I was about to quit, guys. When I got a phone call from an individual that you guys are about to meet, his name is Crypto Picasso. He called me. I met this individual because of a good friend, of a good friend, of a good friend. And I met him. I got to build this relationship because of Facebook. And I cultivated that relationship for 2 years. He lived in Costa Rica. He was a Bitcoin trader, a Bitcoin investor. You know, I didn't understand what Bitcoin was, but I did know one thing, that I wanted to live in Costa Rica one day. I wanted to live in paradise one day. I wanted to create my heaven on earth. So I built that relationship with him. And in 2017, I don't know, it must have been a calling from I don't know, from the universe, that he calls me. He's like, Ivan, you know, this crypto thing is about to take off and I want you to learn it. I could teach you it. I could teach you the ropes. All you got to do is listen. Guys, you know what I did? I said, what is one more thing on the list? I'm about to go get a job. I'm about to quit everything. I'm about to just, shoot. I'm just going to go, do what I never thought I was going to do in those years of being an entrepreneur. I was just going to give up. Guys, My first investment was $250 in Coinbase. And I followed this individual to the T. There was no app. There was no website. There was no scanners. There was no scalpers. There was no harmonics. There was no go live. There was nothing. It was just him. I believe it was a WhatsApp group. Guys, 30 days later, I'm not going to give any income claims, but I'm like, holy moly, this thing is working. 60 days later, I said, what? This is the most I've ever have saved in any of my accounts. 90 days later, I'm like, this is the most money I've ever made, period. A year later, I'm buying my house in cryptocurrency. Documented. Vice News, News BTC, the real deal. Check it out. 2018, apartment paid for. No income claims, but it's right there. Google my name. So guess what happened, ladies and gentlemen? My life started changing naturally. I don't know if you guys are noticing this. I'm not here in a PowerPoint. I'm not here in a slide. I'm not here trying to like sell you guys. I'm giving you my life, how this played out. And, you know, Christopher Terry, Matt Rosa, Jason Brown, dear friends of ours because I told you I was involved in the industry for a very long time. They hit me up. Hey, Ivan, where are you learning all this cryptocurrency stuff? I said, I have a good friend named Crypto Picasso. He lives out in the mountains somewhere in Costa Rica. And this guy completely changed my life. He said, well, we want to meet him. We want him to be on board with IM. Now, I forgot to mention to you that because of my results and so many other individual results that we introduced to Crypto Picasso and we introduced into cryptocurrency and, you know, all this education that you guys are about to learn, guys, we had a website with 10,000 individuals learning from us, learning from Picasso. And it was just Picasso. This was apart from IM. So then Christopher Terry, Matt Rosa, Jason Brown was like, you know, we know you guys are doing amazing. You have this amazing platform. Picasso's, you know, having, you know, teaching thousands of people, but we want you guys to jump on board. And guys, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we did. We partnered up with IM because we knew that we could impact way more individuals united with Guaman, with Mike Sotero, with Darwin, with Matt Rosa, Jason Brown, with Alex Morton, with Ivan Tapia, with David Monetier. We realized that the impact that we can make is a lot greater just than Picasso and I. So guys, we jumped on board IM and it has been an amazing journey, guys. Now you don't only get Crypto Picasso. Now you don't only get Ivan Paychecks. Now you have over, you know, dozens of educators on DCX Go Live teaching you guys the markets, teaching you the fundamentals, teaching you guys the future, teaching you guys the metaverse. You have Nick Gomez, Chairman 25. You have Jason Brown, Chairman 750, teaching you the power of crypto. You have Kurt Cobain. Okay, you have so many educators just pouring into you the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s, taking you from zero to hero. I want everybody in the chat to put hero. Everybody in the chat put hero if you're still with me. If you believe that you are going to be the hero in your life, if you're going to transform your life and transform your family's life and by ripple effect, transform the lives of thousands and thousands of other individuals with this information, go ahead and put hero. Wow. I love the energy. So guys, look, I rode the wave from 1,000, okay, because in 2017 it was 1,000, all the way to 20,000, okay? Wow, I love the energy in here, man. You guys are, I love it. From 1,000 to 20,000. We just rode the wave from 3,000 close to 70,000. And we are about to ride another wave all the way to 250,000. I want you to put, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is where I believe that the markets are going. Go ahead and put 250K in the chat. BTC 250K. Hello. I want everybody to put, so look, this is the right place at the right time with the right people right now. This is your moment to get in the game. This is your moment to be a participator and forget about being a spectator. This is your moment to get in the game. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how much of a good, if you're a good trader, if you're a good marketer, if you're a good speaker, if you're good at market analysis, I don't care. Because here's the reality. I suck at trading. But I have one good reason why I've been winning these past 5 years. And I want you to understand this. DCX is on my team. DCX is my team. I want everybody in this chat to say DCX is my team. DCX is my team. That is all. That is all you need to understand today. Ladies and gentlemen, these individuals that we're going to introduce you throughout this week, they are dedicating their time, their energy, their heart, their soul, their mind, their family's time, everything to be on these charts, to read the news, to the market analysis, to use the tools, to mark up the tools, to give you the education, to go on Go Live, to get creative, to put things in perspective for you to digest, no matter your level of entry, no matter where you are, a beginner, intermediate, advanced, we have the source for you. Look, I'm living testimony that this works. Get in where you fit in. You want to go DeFi? You got it. You want tools like the scalper? You got it. You want harmonics? You got it. You want hodling? You got it. You want exchange ideas? You got it. You got leverage? You like on MT4? You got it. You want altcoins? You got it. Bitcoin? You got it. Ethereum? You got it. XRP? You got it. Get in where you fit in. And here's the most beautiful thing about it. Yes, on the market cycle, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting close to euphoria. Bitcoin is going to hit 250K any minute now. Guess what's going to happen there? The bears are going to come out. And guess what? We're going to make money on the way down and prepare you for the way up again. Because then we're going to be riding Bitcoin to 1 million. Put 1 million in the chat right now. Put 1 million in the chat right now. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is just the beginning. Facebook's name is Meta. Why? The gold standard of the digital currency world is going to be Bitcoin. There's going to be tons and tons of other plays. And we have one for you. We're going to give you all the tools, all the education, all the know-how, all the resources. It's going to be there. We're developing a platform for anyone to use. I'm sorry, I'm swiping up because I'm loving this energy from you. This is the now. It is not the past. It is the now. And the now is here to stay. And you guys are learning this way before the world. You guys are jumping on this with the Mark Zuckerbergs. Your life is going to change in the next few months. All you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is join this community. Give it the time that it deserves. Take notes and apply. The science is there. Listen, there's no, you guys are lucky for getting this information. Seriously, you are lucky. You are so lucky. Put in the chat, I'm lucky. I want you guys to know that you guys are lucky, for real. Say, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I'm blessed. I'm lucky. I'm blessed. Say you're lucky because you're lucky. You're lucky, guys. Whoever is A part of this is lucky, and whoever is hearing this information for the first time right now, you are super lucky. Look, here's the truth of the matter. You could go on YouTube and you could find information. They're just going to give you news, this and that, blah, 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 blah. But they don't have it down to a science from A to Z, from 1 to 100. They don't have that. They don't have the systematic approach that we have. We have beginners. We take you from the fundamentals, from the basics, from the baby food, from the toddler, all the way to where Kurt Cobain is. Mike Citero, look, you guys are about to hear about an individual, Mike Citero, who's a chairman 25 within this company, who was just a marketer, who used to hear me scream about Bitcoin for the past 5 years, and he decided to take this serious, COVID. Now he's an educator on the platform. Say, I'm next. Say, I'm next. Because that's the power of the tools that we have right here. Look, it's not a matter if this works. It's a matter if you're going to work. If you are going to put the countless hours and dedication to, it's not even the countless hours, guys. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's too complicated. All you got to do is they do the countless hours. They do the research. They do the analysis. They create the tools to make it easier for you. It's as simple as that. Accept this blessing, accept that you are lucky, accept that you are at the right place at the right time, accept that whoever brought you on this call loves you enough, okay, to hear this life-changing information. Look, Guaman, thank you for creating this amazing week, because people are going to be able to see a glimpse. What you guys are going to witness this week is a glimpse of what the DCX platform has. But you guys are going to see how you guys are getting all this tremendous value. You guys are going to see the value for pennies to the dollar. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pass this back to my brother Guaman. Okay, he's going to introduce the next speaker, who is my mentor, the individual that got me started into cryptocurrency, the individual that I learned everything, okay, that has taken me to today. Guys, I wish I could show you my portfolio. I wish I could tell you currently where I am, but follow me on Instagram. You guys are going to you guys are going to see. And it's not about the Lambos. It's not about the thing. It's not about this. You know what? It's about my grandma saying, you know what? I just saw pictures of what you just bought in Costa Rica, and this is where I want to spend the last of my days. That feeling right there, ladies and gentlemen, for me is everything. For me to give my grandma her dream of her living her last days. For me to be sending my mom, to tell my mom, hey, mom, go to Miami because I got you covered. You've always wanted a condo by the water, on me, mom. For me to be able to tell my girlfriend, yo, you've always wanted to create a cosmetology line. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, you deserve greatness. You deserve abundance. You deserve to accomplish everything that you truly wanted. And I'm telling you guys, you are one step away. You are 3 feet from a whole lot of Bitcoin. This opportunity is the opportunity of a lifetime. It's like the .com era. It's like the real estate era. It's like the gold rush. It's like all those that we couldn't be a part of, but this is what we could truly be a part of. And it's just the beginning. You guys are hearing about cryptocurrency like if it was 91 hearing about the internet and getting the whole science, getting the math, getting the perspective. So guess what happened to all those individuals that heard about the internet in 91 and really applied themselves and joined the community and the conglomerates and created businesses like Microsoft, created businesses like Dell, created businesses like Amazon, created businesses like IBM created Silicon Valley. We invite you into this world. This is your boy, Ivan Paychecks. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys a part of the DCX family. And remember, DCX is your team. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Appreciate you, Ivan, so much. Drop some 777s in the chat box, guys. Drop some 777s in the chat box. I am grateful for you, bro, to really get that entire thing running and really giving a perspective of what this entire thing really did to honestly alter and change your entire life. The next gentleman we're going to bring up that, you know, me and Ivan have been talking so heavily about. You guys all know him as Crypto Picasso. He is the one, the only, the guy that has been giving out an immense amount of trade ideas, really predicted cryptocurrency, you know, at the price zone of where it is now, way before, you know, I saw any, you know, banker or other educator really talking about it. So Crypto Picasso, take it away for us. Drop those 777s in the chat. Let's give him some energy all the way over there. And Crypto Picasso, take it away.
What's good? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Welcome, everybody. Yo, thanks for getting these calls together. Thanks for having me on. I just want to start off by saying, guys, like Ivan said, now is really the time. Cryptocurrency is taking over. And in my short little time here tonight, I just want to drop some nuggets on you guys, just as far as like understanding Bitcoin in two different ways and really understanding the opportunity that we have right now and just where we're at in history, in a sense. I really believe, and I'm not the only one, that what we're experiencing right now with Bitcoin is probably the biggest transfer of wealth since the Industrial Revolution. So we have a chance to partake in that. And it's a very unique point in time because Bitcoin's kind of uniquely different than anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and then we'll jump into a couple of things here. Hold up. All right, we'll get into the tools. I think we got some educators coming on later on, either on this call or later on this week. But we're going to look at Bitcoin here for a second. And what I want to show you guys is that Bitcoin is not only, you know, something that is worth $60,000, but it's a technology. It's a very unique technology that solves a very old problem within computer science. You know, without getting too deep into it, just know that Bitcoin is a distributed network that really solves like the fact that we don't need a third party in the middle. Like, so our entire society runs on trust mechanisms that we've built up throughout time. Right now, we are building systems in cryptocurrency that are decentralized. So they're trustless systems that are basically taking away that need for third-party trust. Now you can add that in many layers and applications, but the first core protocol that created this unique technology or that we have today is Bitcoin. So what Bitcoin did was it kind of opened the Pandora's box, in a sense, to a new world. If you really go deep in the crypto rabbit hole, what's happening with cryptocurrency is that it's disrupting finance, it's disrupting basically everything. You know, like there's no other market in the world that has the amount of value that Bitcoin is going to like consume. Like the way that Bitcoin works is that it's limited in supply, and there's nothing else in history that has gone up in value as much as Bitcoin consistently. So you have to ask yourself, like, why is that? What makes Bitcoin completely unique from everything else? So what I want you to understand and take home from today is that Bitcoin is a financial market, but it's also a technology. So we have to look at it in those two different ways, all right? And to separate those two things out, we want to look at this chart, right? I'm going to pull up a chart here. I want to show you guys here. This is Bitcoin's historical chart. All right, now understanding, all right, that's fine. All right, so understanding Bitcoin as this, you know, this thing that's worth $60,000. It's a financial market, right? It's priced in dollars, it's priced in euros, it's priced in fiat currency, meaning that you can trade it against whatever money and it has value. So like, what gives things value? Now, Bitcoin's scarce and it serves a high utility. Now, it is basically getting scarcer and scarcer over time. There's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin. So to really come at this and grasp like what we really have here, it goes beyond just trading, right? Somebody might have said, hey, this is about trading. Yes, this is about trading, but this is also about being in the right place at the right time and understanding where you're at historically and taking advantage of that. Like, and at least just educating yourself on it, because cryptocurrency is not going away. Basically, everything that runs on a third-party system throughout time is going to be replaced by some sort of coin or some sort of blockchain. That we don't need that trust from somebody in the middle that could manipulate things or not be trustworthy. So cryptocurrency is completely unique, and the fact that it's priced against fiat currency is what creates this chart. Okay, this is what we call the linear chart. This is the way that you would look at stocks, you would look at Forex, you would look at basically all markets in the linear chart. The thing with Bitcoin is that not only is Bitcoin a financial market that we can trade, but it's also a technology. So when we look at the logarithmic graph and click this button, what we're looking at is Bitcoin's price over time since its beginning. Now this thing started out at a penny, now it's worth $60,000 or so. Now you have to ask yourself, like, why is that? What's going on here? What causes this market to just go up? Like, it should go down. Like, it should abide by the rules of other financial markets. And Bitcoin does abide by certain market phenomenon that other markets do abide by. But Bitcoin's extremely unique in the way that it performs, because for the first time ever in history, we have the combination of a financial market and a technology in one. And we've never, ever had that before. So when we look at Bitcoin like this, we got to consider this graph right here. This is called the S-curve of technology. So basically every line on this chart represents a technology that changed our life. The only difference is that as it gained in popularity and as it basically became adopted, we didn't notice, other than seeing people use it, but we didn't notice like such profound emotional effects by rising price and decline in price. Like, these things did not have a dollar price attached to them. And to get exposure to these things becoming popular or going up in price or adoption, you would have to invest in some sort of, like, let's say, telecommunications business or company or satellite technologies or whatever, infrastructure or companies that were involved in the space, but you weren't owning a piece of the technology. Bitcoin's extremely unique because what we look at with Bitcoin's graph here is the curve of adoption. Like, Bitcoin is a network becoming adopted. So when you fully understand this, that Bitcoin's a financial market and there's a limited amount of Bitcoins to go around, okay? 21 million total will ever be in existence, and it's estimated that at least 2 million have been lost. So we're talking like maybe 19 million total Bitcoins will ever be in circulation. And as this thing becomes more used and more popular and the network grows, by default, the price is going to go up. And that's what really you have to understand, is that the price of Bitcoin is a direct reflection of the growth of the Bitcoin network. So the more people that come into Bitcoin and more people that use cryptocurrency technology, the price of Bitcoin is going to go up because there's only so many Bitcoins. There's a limited amount of Bitcoins. So understanding this, I realized, back when I first got involved with Bitcoin, like, I've been trading for a long time. And when I found Bitcoin in 2013, I had already been trading for about 4 years. But the thing is that in my trading journey, I was trading stocks, Forex, futures, whatever, like gold and silver. And I was trying to figure out trading. And then in 2013, I found Bitcoin. Well, actually, I heard about it a little bit in 2012. But in 2013, I bought my first Bitcoin here, just when it crossed $1,000 because I was trading gold. Now, if I say to you, I bought my first Bitcoin at $1,000, it sounds like, wow, you were lucky, you got in early. But there's a time and a place in how the market works. And what Bitcoin taught me by buying my first Bitcoin here was that I bought Bitcoin, okay, when we look at it back in the financial market perspective, right? Where I bought my first Bitcoin right here was at the top of a cycle, okay? And I had been like trading for about 4 years before I found Bitcoin, and I realized that this cycle that played out. So I bought my first Bitcoin up here, and then I watched the price go all the way down to $166. So basically, like, buying at this wrong time showed me what I had done wrong in that trade and everything else that I had been doing wrong in all of my trading, because I was trading for a good amount of time, but I wasn't having like enough success to have it be my full-time thing. So when I bought Bitcoin here, I realized that there's something going on here as far as like the way that the market is playing out. And then this chart came across my desk. I dismissed it at first, and it's actually called the Wall Street cheat sheet. I dismissed it at first because I was trading crypto and I wasn't trading stocks anymore. And I was like, yeah, whatever, that's for stocks. But then as I watched Bitcoin go from 1100, down to 166, I realized that the market cycle was playing out. Okay, so learning that lesson and being in the market at that time, it taught me everything I've been doing wrong in trading, and it taught me a strategy to basically learn how to win in the market. So going back to Bitcoin here, I realized that not only does Wall Street cheat sheet and many stocks and many markets make that cycle, but Bitcoin is really good at making that cycle. And if we go back here, back to 2011, Bitcoin also created that cycle. So understanding a couple things, I reinvested back into Bitcoin over here, back around like about 280 to 350 in this zone right here, and rode it all the way up and through that run. And like about 2017 here, I realized what was going on, and this is where I contacted Ivan. I was like, yo, you really need to get involved in crypto. And it was basically the timing, right? Like he had such a great experience because of the timing. Like in early 2017 is when I introduced him to Bitcoin, and we rode that entire wave up. So he learned, and many others throughout IM and within the crypto space have learned from my previous experience on how to like apply the timing to the market. And what I realized is that it's all about understanding where you're at in the trend. Okay, so first let's get back to understanding this, like what Bitcoin is doing. Okay, Bitcoin is a technology that is growing and becoming adopted, and every time Bitcoin goes through a wave of mass adoption, it creates this emotional market cycle. Now, this emotional market cycle is everywhere. It's in all markets. It exists in all markets in all time frames. It is the tide that runs all markets. Okay, you cannot get away from that. And so I started to realize, like, well, not only was I losing, but a lot of people I know in the space are losing and stuff like that. And I started really researching. I realized that even here, some of these brokers will tell you right here on their website, 67% of people lose when trading with them. So you have to ask yourself, like, all right, well, what's going on here? The majority of people are losing. But within that, there's a strategy, there's an edge. Like, okay, well, if the majority of people are losing and this is what's happening consistently, the reason that they're losing and the reason that I was losing is because I was making emotional responses to the market. And so after a long period of trial and error, I realized that this is the tide that runs all things, and it exists in all time frames. And you apply, other logic of trading to this, like momentum and timing and Fibonacci and just, a couple of different things and support and resistance. But this is basically the tide that runs back and forth within the market. And understanding where you're at in this tide is really how to understand how to become a winning trader. Because if you really study this, you realize that the majority of people are losing. How are they losing? They're losing because they're making emotional responses to the market. And where are they losing? Most importantly. So if you can understand where the majority of people are losing in the market, you can develop a strategy to understand where to win in the market, because you literally need to be winning where everybody else is losing. And you have to understand how and when they're going to lose in different situations, and realize that the market's going to always lean towards the maximum amount of loss for the most amount of people. So if you can go into this journey of trading, realizing that this is geared towards loss for the majority, we've developed a strategy to win within that environment with that edge. Okay, because the market is doing the same thing over and over. It's always creating these waves of fear and greed. But the important thing, we've developed strategies and different, like a home base of educators that, have different strategies to apply this to the markets. But it really, for myself, all comes back to Bitcoin, the core like protocol that started all of this, charts of cryptocurrency that we look at. And what's the wheel that is spinning this thing, right? Like, what is the mechanics that are driving this wheel? And what it really is that Bitcoin is a technology that's becoming adopted, just like the cell phone, just like the microwave, just like social media. And it's happening over a period of time where every time that it makes, let's go back to the logarithmic graph here. Every time it makes these large waves of adoption, right? It makes these large waves of adoption. But what happens afterwards? The market goes through a downtime. Okay, the market goes through a period where it goes anywhere from 80 to 90% down afterwards. So in the bigger scheme of things, what's happening with Bitcoin is making these emotional market cycles every single time that Bitcoin makes a wave of mass adoption. And the way that Bitcoin makes the wave of mass adoption is it continues to go up in price and it starts trending more and more, and more and more people hear about Bitcoin, more and more people get involved in Bitcoin, more and more people buy Bitcoin. But then what happens is the cycle leads into this just insane parabolic rise because Bitcoin is limited supply and there's only so many to go around. So it's not unthinkable for Bitcoin to be $1 million one day when you think about just the amount of money in the bond market, for instance, which is nothing. Like it's not even profitable to be in the bond market. So there's like old school money in traditional markets that just isn't playing out, you know, the way that it used to. And more traditional players are realizing that, and Bitcoin's just sucking in all the world's value like a vacuum. And eventually it will be at $1 million, but it's not just going to go there in one shot. And the way that it's going to go there is in these emotional cycles where what happens, the majority lose, right? So the only way you're not going to lose is to understand where you're at in the cycle. So developing strategies based around what's the emotional state of the market has been extremely productive because we understand the environment that we're heading into before we even, you know, like analyze the trade. Like if this is the tide that is running the market, you want to go with the current. You don't want to go against the current. So understanding these simple concepts and applying them in all time frames, that's where like it gets fun with the strategies and trading it. But the core thing that's playing out here and that's creating all this volatility is Bitcoin's becoming adopted. Cryptocurrency is becoming adopted. And as it becomes adopted, it's going to create more volatility and huge price discovery because there's only so many to go around. So what's happening now, right? We're at the point in time where most likely Bitcoin is heading towards the, you know, the optimism, belief, thrill, and euphoria stage, which is where the majority of people who come into this late are going to lose, okay? And the majority of people who come into this like emotionally are also going to lose, because even the people that have been invested in Bitcoin since $20,000, once it gets up into this belief, thrill, and euphoria stage, you'll be tempted to buy more at the wrong time. And that's the way the market works. So the biggest thing about being a trader is understanding what not to do. What not to do. This is what the majority of people are doing. So once you understand what not to do in the market, and then you identify just basically where you're at in the cycle, you really can understand how to take advantage of the opportunity that you have. So for me, I've been expecting this for quite some time for Bitcoin to start moving towards these levels. You know, obviously I've been trading this since 2013, but understanding how it moves is very important, because if you don't play this right coming into Bitcoin right now, you could very well, and even the people, like I said, who've been in it for a while, we're heading into probably the most greedy and euphoric stage that exists in any kind of a market. And it happened in 2011, 2013, 2017. It's happening now to 2021. So when that happens, the markets just get stupid. They just get insane. And basically people who have never even heard about Bitcoin are just going to come and flock into Bitcoin. And without the proper education, you're going to lose, just like statistically, like everybody else, because just like I did in 2013, if you come in during euphoria. So you have to understand like where you're at in the tide, right? Where you're at in the cycle. And Bitcoin has been heading towards these levels for a while. So, you know, just short prediction, you know, not prediction, but like short analysis on Bitcoin. I really feel like Bitcoin is heading towards the multiple six-figure levels, probably by the beginning of the year, next year. And then it will roll over and go right back to like 55 or 60,000. Well, not right back, but over the course of another, you know, year or two, just in the way that these cycles move and they roll. So what's happening with Bitcoin is that, we're making another one of these, very much like 2013, double waves of adoption. Oops. Right here. Okay, like 2013 was very similar here, where this had, get this out of here too. All right, where this had one wave up, held the retracement, and then did another wave. We're very similar in our structure to doing something like that here. And then most likely coming right back by the end of, I think 2022, all next year will be a bear market for Bitcoin, honestly, but not all cryptocurrency. And there's so much opportunity in the bear market with like DeFi and all sorts of like different altcoins that pop off. So like crypto has become more than just Bitcoin, but like this is my main study, like I've been studying since 2013, just understanding the mechanics of all this works, because once you understand this, you can understand where the money's flowing, where the volatility is, and where, what the plays are in the market, most importantly with the trend. But with Bitcoin now, I feel like we're heading towards that end part of the cycle where we're probably gonna, hit multiple six figures probably, and people just get stupid about it. Just like here and here. I mean, this is the kind of market structure that we're most likely going to see, just like up pretty soon once we break out of this little zone right here. So understanding where you're at in there is really, really important, because you want to play the tide accordingly. But when we look at Bitcoin, right, and we look at what it's doing, it's heading towards, okay, every time there's kind of like some, I don't want to go too deep into it and make this call like maybe long and boring for some people, but like just understanding like the wheel that is kind of the mechanics that's turning all this is Bitcoin's limited supply and its profitability to the miners who are supporting the network. So if Bitcoin becomes unprofitable for the miners, then the miners, they just like the traders enter the market at certain prices, people also start to mine Bitcoin at certain prices. So if the price of Bitcoin gets below your cost of basic like mining, then it's not worth it for you to mine. And what happens is, by design with Bitcoin's protocol, every 4 years, that reward that the miners gets cut in half. So basically like Bitcoin, if you're putting all your computer power to work to find Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin's rewarding you $100,000 worth of Bitcoin, let's say, and you know that a certain point in time, that amount that you get rewarded will get cut in half, it's just not going to be profitable unless the price of Bitcoin goes up. So Bitcoin gets a supply and a demand shock every 4 years that kind of sparks this whole wave of emotion and price discovery. And what happens is that as it becomes adopted by default, since it has a dollar price attached to it, it goes up in price. And it's kind of like this harmonious relationship between a mass adoption happening at the same time as fear of missing out, and just kind of like people getting crypto fever and like wanting, just like realizing, wow, this is amazing revolutionary technology. I mean, the world needs this. Like most of the world, like in third world countries, is unbanked. I mean, just the forms and the hassle work and the red tape you got to deal with banks. The younger generation, they're not going to want to go stand in a line and fill out forms to get a plastic card mailed to them in the mail when they can download an app on their phone. So it's like, this is not going away. This is the future. So we have to realize like that 50 years from now, they're going to look back at this point in time as like the actual shift into the mainstream. Like I was mad early into it in 2013, and I thought I was late. And 2017 was still early, and 2021 is still early, because why? We're like, now we're at the point now, like even just like what in our society now, like the early adopters to like the mass technologies, like the Zuckerbergs and all these, like corporate people that create our reality in a sense, like they've gotten into it now, right? Like, and there's still like all this mass adoption that has yet to come. So one day Bitcoin will be worth, I really feel like, multiple millions of dollars, or fail. There's really no in between. Like when you really understand what happens with Bitcoin, it gets every 4 years when it goes through that cycle of the downward time. All right. it's not only the traders that are going through this emotional cycle, it's also the miners. So during this whole climax right here, it's super profitable for the miners to be mining Bitcoin, right? As the price drops, it's, okay, they're not making as much of a reward because they get rewarded in Bitcoin. So just real quick, like mining is just putting your computer power to work to search for Bitcoin. You used to be able to do it on a laptop. Now you need complex operations like in Iceland to do it, to like really do it right. So it's become like this thing where it's a huge investment and a huge business to mine for Bitcoin. And when the price of Bitcoin goes down and you're not making as much from the rewards, and you know that in the future there's a predetermined time that your reward is going to get cut in half, a lot of miners during this capitulation and anger phase, they abandon the network. They get out because it's not profitable to mine. They're not making as much money. Maybe they didn't do their investments right. And they know that in the future, their reward is going to get cut in half. So you got to have a lot of faith in Bitcoin as a miner. Like when the prices get down to depression, the miners have to have a lot of faith that it's either has to be above their cost of production at that point, or they have to have faith and speculate for higher prices in the future to balance out the fact that the reward got cut in half. So that really pushes the entire network of Bitcoin to a point of death or renewal every single time. So as Bitcoin makes these waves of mass adoption, it gets euphoric, runs all the way down to depression, hits that point of death or renewal, and most of the time it goes through renewal. I mean, it has every single time. So that's why I feel like if you really understand what Bitcoin is, it's the first ever like technology that's becoming adopted by the masses, that has a dollar tag attached to it, that has limited supply, that you can own a piece of. I mean, like we've never had a chance, like our generation, to be able to have the chance that it's amazing. All right, it's absolutely amazing. So like realizing where you're at in history is a really big thing, and realizing how this is all going to play out. So I feel like we're heading into this optimism, belief, thrill, and euphoria phase. And, I'll just actually show you the chart. So I made this chart here. All right. Where was it? 2019. Right here. All right. Understanding what I just told you, like without getting too complex about it, but just how the mining reward is the mechanics that the mining reward is the point that just think about it like this. The market gets pushed to a point of euphoria and just massive where everybody's making money, and then it falls and starts to go through depression. And then in the future, the mining reward gets cut in half. And when that gets cut in half, it kind of sparks in the renewal in the market because it doesn't die. It's either going to have death or renewal, right? So it doesn't die, it goes through renewal. And as it goes through renewal, the price starts to gradually go back up again to compensate for the reward becoming cut in half. So if you understand this whole dynamics and the fact that there's a price tag attached to it, you can kind of realize that if this thing isn't going to die and it becomes renewed in that period of downtime, right, and it holds certain levels and it keeps trending up, that the mining reward getting cut in half again in the future is going to potentially spark what? Another wave of mass adoption or another wave of price discovery. Because the price going up is what gets people to realize that, wow, I can have this money outside the bank, and this money outside the bank just keeps going up. And this money outside the bank, I can trade it over here for some Ethereum, and I can put that Ethereum over here, and I can make more APY on my money than I can in the bank in 10 years. So it's like, the whole crypto space opens up a whole nother realm of just like ecosystem in the whole world that we're going to live by. So of course, when we get to this point of death or renewal, it's going to renew, or it's going to because if it's not going to die, it's going to renew. And if it renews, it's going to go through new price discovery again. So I made this chart here, man, back in December of 2018, when Bitcoin is $3,200, understanding, now this was made in the logarithmic graph, but understanding that the Bitcoin here at $3,200 was most likely going to hit the bottom and start to go through a collection period, an accumulation period. And then at this purple line in the future, when the mining reward got cut in half, Bitcoin was going to start trending up again. And so this is the path that I drew Bitcoin on since 2013, basically making a 4-year prediction on a market based upon this knowledge, based upon this understanding of the market. Okay. Now, the only thing I didn't get right here, obviously we're not at the end, was the accumulation phase. And then the accumulation phase happened a little bit different because I feel like at this point in time, more institutional money started to come into Bitcoin and created a different looking accumulation phase. But look how the market trended, okay, after the mining reward. Okay, this is the important thing to understand. Right here, when the mining reward got cut in half, I'm going to press play on this and play out what happened here. Like I said, I didn't get the accumulation phase correct, but look how the market flowed towards the idea of how it would, based upon just the simple understanding of Bitcoin price going to rise once the mining reward got cut in half, and how that was going to start what? Another bull run, another wave of what? Emotion. So the wave of emotion that we're coming into like the end of, basically, I feel like by the end of the year or early 2022, is something that has been expected since 2018 for this to play out, because Bitcoin's not going away, right? It opened up this whole Pandora's box of this great technology that serves so much utility. If this continues to become adopted, the price is going to go up. If the price is going to go up, it's going to create what? An emotional cycle of trade, because it's a trading market as well. It's a financial market. So where we're at in the market here, I don't think we're going to go this far into the future here, like into 2022 too much. But this market here has the potential to get into the multiple 6 figures here. And the thing is if it does, we've been expecting it. And you have to understand where you're at in the cycle, because if it hits up in these levels, we are most likely in the euphoric state of the market. Okay. Optimism, belief, thrilling, euphoria. And afterwards, all right, this is basically what I feel like Bitcoin is going to do here. No, not that one. This one. Afterwards, this is our current chart that we are in right now with Bitcoin. And this is basically what I see Bitcoin doing over the course of the next year, like creating the market cycle, coming right out of here, going euphoric, and then bleeding all the way back down and creating what? The emotional market cycle again in the market. Okay. So fun times ahead, whether it's up, whether it's down, it's just, understanding where you're at, understanding how to take advantage. I mean, this is an amazing time to be alive, honestly. Like nobody in my family's history has ever had the chance to take advantage of like generational wealth. Like, I mean, as simple as that, you know what I mean? Like we have a chance now to have a piece of Bitcoin that it's going to be extremely hard to have a piece of Bitcoin in the future. All right. There's just simply not enough to go around. So just understanding that, understanding where we're at, we developed the strategies around it. And, that's what this week is about, is introducing you guys to DCX and everything that we have within that, the go live, the different scalpers, the swipe coin, the educators. I mean, there's so much that we put together over the last 3 years that since we brought cryptocurrency to IM back in 2018, there's so much that we built up to then for this moment to properly educate everybody for these times. So thank you guys for having me on. It's been a blessing. It's been a great journey. I'll pass it back to you, John.
Crypto Picasso, thank you so much, man, for all that information and really for the last couple of years of value. Can everybody drop some 777s in the chat box as a thank you for you, bro? I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, all of us appreciate you every single week. And for the people that are already tuning in, I mean, since 2018, you've been able to really witness Crypto Picasso give out some of the greatest setups that I've seen over the last couple of years in the entire platform. So guys, I mean, we talked about it before, if you're not on the Academy, I know multiple people here, this is your first time really hearing about it, first time really getting introduced to Crypto Picasso and Ivan, go back to the person who personally brought you on the entire call, thank them, number one, and then number two, okay, ask them about the go live sessions, because check this out. If you are a part of the Academy already, you have access to DCX and our cryptocurrency education and are able to get, Crypto Picasso on Tuesdays and Thursdays already at 1 p.m. Eastern time, where he's basically doing the exact same thing that we're doing right here with 3,000 members on, right? But, legitimately on there and watches all his recorded sessions. So make sure you go back to the person that got you on the call and tell them, hey, I want to tune into, Crypto Picasso's sessions and get more in depth with, essentially what he was talking about with the next wave with Bitcoin, and also, be able to get access to the dozens of other cryptocurrency educators that we have hopping on as well. I know legitimately in the next, right now we have, I think it's Curtis and Mike actually going on Go Live right now. So right after this call, hop on that DeFi section where you'll be able to get access to information about Ethereum and what we're really looking for in the DeFi space with altcoins. But I appreciate you, Crypto Picasso, one more time. This concludes our day one of this DCX free trial. We had over 3,000 members on the entire call. And guess what? Tomorrow, we're going to start up at the exact same time. I know the call got maxed out at one point in time. So make sure you're early on the call. And tomorrow, we're going over DeFi. We're going over staking. We're going over nodes. We're going over crypto gaming. We're going to be going over how to also collect money residually from the entire crypto space. So make sure you set your alarm clocks and get them ready. But I appreciate all of y'all for hopping on the call today. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Appreciate y'all. Peace.